got ourselves a bit of a rematch. We got ourselves no persist. Looks like on a bit of a back burner since guys getting another opportunity to play. It looks like Revan there in the back. We got 0-2. Actually, it looks like the first one was going to be Chicago with a bit of a rematch versus Alvarez. Wait, the other duel? Maybe, was it these two that dueled? I think it might have been these two that dueled, right? I think it was. It is a bit of a rematch. Static totem up for Alvarez very early on. Quick strangling on Chicago. Trying to see if they can maybe snuff out all life. Big old A-bomb joining in. That's going to be all the pets. A-bomb limb, everything. Oh my goodness, it's dropping all of it. When I said A-bomb, I really meant Dark Transformation, but I always think of it as a big old A-bomb. I think of it as a, you know, a monstrosity and abomination, but not in a literal like abomination model. Although I feel like for Alpha's that A-bomb build would probably fit his whole. Maybe he's running a different build though. I could be wrong. Gonna be Lynchborn as Alvarez trying to see if he may be able to survive the alien blast out of Chicago. Trying to go for as much self-healing, but looks like the Shaman just has him on the ropes. Just to sustain pressure of an enhancement is really difficult to overcome. Dropping down the anti-magic zone, but Chicago just goes in for a big old haymaker, taking him out with a big old earth elemental guarding him. Feral God X swapping out to the kitty this time instead of a bounce druid. Trying to see if he may be able to have a better chance as a Feral. Feral much better suited for PvP. Although apparently Boomy is really good for PvP. There's a lot of Boomies. Gonna be Ghost Raptor for Chicago. Feral God going in for a big old little rake of an opener. As the static totem is down. Doesn't really want to destroy the totem. He's just trying to find a way to play around the small area that he's given. What if he couldn't destroy the totem? That'd be insane, man. Gonna be Chicago trying to see if they may be able to keep the Feral out in combat. Is gonna go for that wrong range interrupt on the root as Feral God is just looking to get himself an escape. Gonna be Frost Shocks and Flame Shocks rolling onto the kitty. As Chicago trying to again deny the Feral the stealth as best as they can. Just trying to get some Maelstrom on top of it as well. And that's gonna be Maelstrom generation. It's gonna give him opportunity to get Ghost Whip back up a little bit faster. And Feral God actually taking a bit of damage. Wait until stuns it back up fully. Try to see if he can get some DRs with Chicago. Full set of bleeds are up and running. Potentially can make those bleeds work. He's gonna try to see if he can escape it. Got himself the emergency healing as he gets low with the chain harvest with Chicago. That's gonna be quite a lot of dot damage to the Shaman, but is able to maintain themselves. As Feral God X trying to see if he can hide behind the pillar. Quick roar onto these Ghost Raptors, but that doesn't last long. Feral God could be a bit of trouble. May have to pop wall. Big alien blast is gonna get him kind of low, trying to get himself a bit of healing. Gonna be a root onto Chicago as they do make a breakaway. So far, Chicago has been getting this Feral on the ropes. Dara Shadows could potentially maybe someone catch him. Static, I am surprised how that Static Tone didn't catch him. I am amazed how you didn't even catch Stealth. What? How is this man not in stealth? Gonna be a slime shield, give it a bit of a heal. Again, just put some slows on Chicago and are just running as far as he can. I just don't believe it. This man so far has been able to survive it. I am surprised he hasn't been able to get a proper restealth. But Chicago has been doing a great job denying the Feral any restealth, and that's exactly what he's going for. There goes the Flesh Cup. Not much Chicago can do, but at least can burn through the defenses of Feral God. Might as well. I think it's better than letting him get a full Cyclone. Get him quickly interrupted on a nature spell. Let him do the Flesh Craft because it's almost unavoidable. Quick stun with Thunder combo onto Feral. Does force out a trinket. Gonna try to see if he can get some bleeds back up on Chicago with a basket to follow. And he's gonna go for a bit of a kite and strat, going for the Moonfire spam. Got himself a root, and Chicago tries to break it as soon as possible. Feral God looking for a little bit of a reset behind the pillar. Quick interrupt on nature. May have to wall this. Do they need to bash into Chicago? Chain harvest by the Shaman. Trying to see if they can maximize damage. Alien Blaster follows. Static Totem can't go anywhere unless they take down the totem. Has to be in bear form with a wall as well as friends in region. Just trying to tank up this damage as best as possible. With a quick berserk on top of Chicago, trying to go for a last Hail Mary, but the Shaman does end up overpowering the Feral Druid. Dude, the amount of running, the mobility of a Feral is actually kind of insane. With Bacon going to be up next. Trying to see if he may be able to get a chance for Chicago. Looks like giving Chicago an opportunity to get at least a little bit of a reset. Letting him get cooldowns. And looks like it's trying to give him as much of an honored duel. He could have just charged him while Chicago's low. Big Invoke, immediate trinket. Snap trinket interrupt by Chicago with a wind shear. Try to see if he can get that ability out of the way. Big old berserk to follow us. Bacon's trying to see if he can rod down Chicago with him. Blaze Thunder Totem is going to be coming down, or Capacitor Totem. Capacitor Totem, not Thunder Totem. Static Totem keeping it in place. Does not take down the totem. A lot of you guys can take down the totem if you wanted to. He doesn't have that much health. It will take a global or two. But you can take it down in order to escape it. But a lot of people instinctively, when they get hit by that totem, they try to utilize the little spaces they're given to try to find some line of sight. Well, against Chicago, there's nothing you can do about it. Grounding totem down for a second. Looks like Bacon wasn't able to do it. Chicago may have to interrupt this next cyclone. He knows. Actually, No, Chicago Kid didn't have an interrupt, but the Ghost Raptor still did work. Bacon found himself extremely low, trying to see if he can get himself recovery, not playing Necrolord, so he's limited on the amount of survivability he has. But he is a Convoke Druid, so that next stun with Convoke could potentially be deadly. Chicago down for the count. No, Chicago lives. Chicago actually survived it. Used the Battle Master Trick in the last second. Looks like Bacon maybe rolled really heavily unlucky on some of his rolls and some of his luck with the Convoke ability. Big Alley Blaster follows. The Pharaoh's looking for a bit of an escape. The Cyclone dropping down the grounding totem, but Bacon decides to avoid the totem in Chicago altogether. Big Berserk potentially could make something happen. Wolf in Chicago very early on has a trigger for the Convoke. This is where Bacon again using a lot of cooldowns, has a lot of damage potential, but he's just playing defensive. This is where he can go for back-to-back bites, try to go for a Convoke off of a main, waited out long enough. That's going to be Ghost Raptor joining it. Trinket was burned in order to interrupt the Convoke, and Bacon just trying to see if he can avoid Chicago as best as humanly possible. Is going to be meeting the Shaman face to face. Quick war for a second. How did that LA blast him to the wall just now? I guess that thing was queued up already. I was thinking that LA blast was not going to connect at all, but Bacon trying to see if he can survive it. I feel like you're Berserk this way. The man used to go for as many bites as possible and use those instant cast regrowths. Nothing Chicago can do against that Cyclone, as Bacon is looking for a proper reset. Just absolutely trying to get out of this. Chicago will not have anything for this next Convoke. So that's exactly what Bacon's trying to do. He decided, you know what? I'm committed to playing into the next Convoke. I'm playing this first Convoke. It's gonna have to be throw Convoke. You have to throw it away for the Trinket, for the interrupt. This next Convoke will be a proper stun, proper burst, proper everything. Try to go for roll with Chicago with a Cyclone right after. I think just try to see if we can go for recovery. That or waiting for more cooldowns. What would be? There's no. I'm trying to figure out what cooldowns he's waiting for. Maybe just trying to go for survivability. Maybe. You have a totem next to you, potentially could build up calm points off of it and go for a proper main. Unless you go for a bash Convoke. Chicago try to see if it can potentially avoid the Feral. Main, Convoke to follow. Big damage. Does he get the lucky proc? Oh my god. Just waited into the Convoke. That is not much you can do about it. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so dirty. With Revendare going to be up next. Bakey getting attacked by the T-Rexes by Revendare. He's looking to go for the Curian Burst around the corner. It's not to Bakey. Bakey has her spot. Has to get aggressive. Quick mammoth to Revendare. Where is that Convoke going to be immediate human racial for Revendare? Trying to see if he can break away from Bakey. Trying to see if he may be able to absolutely blast him out. Going to be a quick road onto Bakey. And Revendare trying to see if he can just bail out of there completely. Revendare getting assaulted by the Feral. Does have a freezing trap to follow. No more tricking by the Feral. It's going to try to go for Scary Beast, but the power shift does happen. I also do love how a lot of the Feral abilities do have like a Night Elf combat animation. Like when you're doing Feral Claws and Bites, all of them do have an animation in the character too. And some look absolutely fantastic. Rowan to Revendare trying to go for a Cyclone. Bakey does not get interrupted though. Revendare just trying to continue the pressure with all those pets versus Bakey. That Cyclone may be interrupted at some point? No. Revendare trying to see if they can line inside it, but Bakey I think is just trying to go for a bit of a reset. Roots onto the pets, maybe has to Convoke back up on the running. He just needs to get a stun on one of the pets, then a full stun into Revendare. This is where Revendare needs to stay on top of his pets as best possible. If a Convoke is coming, if you're right next to your pets, then the Convoke may actually fly into your pets instead. These vicious bites and bleeds could potentially hit your pets instead. Trying to go for Cycle on one pet. Maybe on the other. Gonna be a stun around the corner with the Kyrian Totem. Not much you can do about it. Bacon just absolutely getting savaged up with these pets with a Chimeric Shot. Not really, or Chimeric Poison, not really giving an opportunity to get a bit of a reset. Flare down. Gonna be Convoke. Pets broke away for a second, but it's gonna be bites in Revendare. The pets do re-engage back next to Bakey at the last second, but the pets were a little bit out of position. You definitely want to make sure your pets right on top of you on the Convoke. If they eat any of that Convoke, it is max value. Bakey running to the wall. Did he get the seed? Oh no. Did Bacon get to see it at the end? Unforge boys. Oh no. That is super unfortunate. After all that, Bacon gets DC'd, man. That is extremely unfortunate, chat. Not much you can do about it though. 11 minutes in the duel, 38% damn, but a Revendare had himself a hell of a game versus the Feral until a disconnect happened. But the man was running into a wall. Like there's nothing I could do about it, honestly. Nothing we can do. Resident is going to be able to get a chance to try versus the hunter at the very least. Hopefully we can make another go. Revender try to see if it can be proactive with the hunter, immediately going for CC, going for stunts. Going to be a resident and arrow, try to see if he can power some of the damage with resident with the legs to follow to the pets. Big BTB to follow. Does Revender have anything for it? Fist of Fury attacking him with a turtle shell before his health really dips low, and this is where resident try to see if he may be able to turn the attention onto the pets. Quick board kind of near Revender. I guess he already had a board pre-planned, and Revenue position just kind of got him a little bit too close to the Monkus. Freezing Trap is going to stop him in place for just a moment. The pets are going to end up attacking, I think, the Kevin Slime. The pets are definitely not really consistently on Resident or next to Revender. They're always attacking someone. Those viciously mauling anything nearby. Resident tried to see if he may be able to rotate some chi against the pets, maybe get some damage in capital Revender. Does he have any burst of follow? Gonna be a quick disarm, trying to see maybe we can make a jab work, but it's gonna be a freezing jab, putting him on ice, and Revender looking to back away from the monk and the aggression that man offers. Karma to follow. Resident just trying to see if he can commit everything versus Revender. Is he able to maximize the value though? Chimeric Poison going to be slowing him down, reducing some of the healing and damage that man is doing. Resident get hit with a stun. Revender has him perfectly set up in a Resident arrow, but that's just going to bail out of there, knowing that he got hit with a stun. Not much he could essentially do. That is super, super unfortunate. Was almost going to be the last one left. Try to see if he may be able to slowly waddle towards Revender. You know, make sure your pet is nearby. I don't know why your pet was hanging out back there for a moment. But Revender in the full camo versus Zalmo. Trying to see if he's able to get some damage in. Gonna be immediately a second Felguard charging out. With Zalmo getting interrupted right after. Has a primary Felguard to go for a second stun onto Revender in case he wants to. Definitely to get himself some damage up and running. Gonna be biting shots on his pets. Trying to see if he can separate the hunter, the Warlock away from the demons. As Zalmo just takes so much damage here. Dark Pact at the very last second. Trying to see if he can let him survive. But Revender is going to be able to take down the seed pod that keeps him alive. Super unfortunate. We had a monk bail out, not giving Revender the kill. Then we got Bake, he DC'd. Super unfortunate that happened. But let's see if we can set another duel up and running, yeah, boys?